Every week we check in with our fantasy football expert, William Del Pilar. We call it Del Pilar's Digest. William, first question is with Ben Roethlisberger. Obviously, he's beat up. We don't know if he's going to play, and it's tough for fantasy players. He's the Monday night game. What do you do? Do you start Ben and hope, or do you go with your backup?
Well, first of all, Ben's been a fringe fantasy starter. It's easy. You bench him. He's averaging 228 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those are solid numbers. But the Niners are one of the best over the past 4 weeks against opposing quarterbacks. And they're allowing less than 200 yards, a little bit over 1 TD per game, and forcing almost 2 interceptions. Look, the matchup is not good for Big Ben. He has a high ankle sprain. That limits his pocket presence, and he has 2 Super Bowl rings because of his pocket presence, his legs, extending the play, and finding the receivers. If that's gone, so is his special ability. Bench him and move on.
There's other Steelers players to keep in mind, too, that are impacted whether Ben plays or not. Rashard Mendenhall is going up against a really tough defense, but maybe they'll rely more on the run with Ben out. And also, you have those receivers, Antonio Brown and Mike Wallace. What do you do?
Well, and that's a great question from that perspective. How much will they use Rashard Mendenhall? Look, at the end of the day, Mendenhall's only averaging about 59 yards and 0.7 TDs per game. And that means he's getting you 1 TD every other game. The Niners are the best in the league against the run. It's that simple. It's a bad matchup. If you have other options, you look towards them. Now, on the receivers, look, when Charlie Batch came in and replaced Big Ben some time ago, he was able to throw deep and throw deep successfully to Mike Wallace. And that will continue. He's a serviceable backup quarterback that can come in for a game or two and do very well. However, that stated, I will tell you, bench Mendenhall if you can, but the other 2 receivers, play the matchup because all you need is 1 big play from them.
I'm certainly going to keep playing Antonio Brown. You figure he's good for maybe a 60-yard touchdown every week. I don't care who his quarterback is. We saw Felix Jones take over for DeMarco Murray last week. He was the starter early in the year and struggled. He did play well last week. Just how highly do you rank Felix Jones?
That's a great question because it's not a matter of ranking him at this point. It's a matter of looking at what you have on your roster compared to Felix Jones. And the irony, just real quick, is his best game of the season was last week. How many people actually used him in their lineups? It'd be a sad testament for his best game to have rarely been used. But that stated, let's take Rashard Mendenhall. You compare him to Felix Jones. You know, Tampa Bay's giving up, nearly 157 yards from scrimmage to opposing backs. So you start Felix Jones over Rashard Mendenhall, over Frank Gore, who's facing the Steelers and one of the top-ranked run defenses. That's how you win your championship.
We appreciate you joining us, William. For the best fantasy football information around, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.